Hi everyone, it's Vanna for Kelowna Now, and today I'm joined by Daniel. And Daniel, you are not only a big member of the community because you have your own business, but you're hosting a pretty cool event to Kelowna.
Yeah, so I run a mobile specialty coffee cart that goes around to markets and weddings called The Local Chemist. And we are now stepping into hosting our own market called Homegrown Kelowna. And so we're stepping into hosting other vendors in the local Okanagan area. And I guess there's no real limit, just Okanagan as a whole, and wanting to promote them and help give them a platform to see if they want to give a small business a go, and if they have been afraid a little bit of like, do I step out, do I start my own business? We want to help give them that opportunity to test it out.
So the vendors aren't necessarily already business owners?
Some of them are, and some of them are just starting. Some of them have been doing it for quite a few years, and some of them have been doing it for a couple of months, and they don't know how to get out and tell people more about it other than social media. So this is a good platform for them.
That's awesome. We were talking prior to the interview a bit about where the idea sparked from for the market. Can you touch a bit on that?
Yeah, coming from Vancouver, there was a market that I was regularly part of called the East Side Flea. Shout out to my East Side Flea crew. And that market gave me a platform that ran every other weekend to make specialty coffee for people coming and going from the market. So I wanted to take that idea along with my market partner, Kelsey, and bring that up to Kelowna because we felt that it was missing. So what we want to do is do as many markets as possible until we find our own home base. One building that runs a market every other weekend for people to come hang out socially, grab some drinks and some food on Friday evening, and then Saturday, Sunday have a full market where those same opportunities are there for drinks and food, and especially shopping and supporting local businesses.
And why was hosting an event like this for entrepreneurs like yourself so important for you to get started here?
Because I think there's a piece of culture that's missing in the Okanagan, and there's some great companies here like Craft Culture and East Kelowna Flea that are doing a great job. I just feel that there's a piece of culture that is moving from the coast up to the Okanagan that is wanting something like that, wanting a place like the East Side Flea where they can come and hang out, they can support local musicians, but have it be a 3-day week, and then during the Christmas time, have it be an every weekend so that more and more people can be supported. So rather than just a market you go to shop and have some food and coffee, have it be a place where you can actually come and hang out.
Yeah.
And I feel that the Okanagan is sort of missing that. And so that's why we wanted to start that.
That's cool. Yeah. And it's actually in West Kelowna, your first one, right?
Yes. So the first location's at Green Bay Bible Camp. And we chose that location because it's beautiful. It's right by the water. And it's a staple in the community between West Kelowna and Kelowna, and the Okanagan as a whole. People know that location. It's been there since 1954, I believe. I think I got those numbers right. And it's such a perfect spot to start it off, and to have food trucks in the parking lot and vendors inside the dining hall in the chapel area. But that's just the first location, and we're going to be working on a second location. We're actually working on a second location. We're just trying to confirm those dates.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you give us more specific details on what people can expect from the very first Homegrown event coming up?
Yeah, so I think people are going to be familiar with some of the vendors already, as they've been a part of the craft culture markets, but then there's some brand new ones that are just starting out. And from flower arrangements, I've got 2 chocolatiers. This market is 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, so If people can purchase variations of chocolate for themselves or their loved ones, that's perfect. I'm going to have a vendor that is inside they outfitted a horse trailer that's going to be creating some mocktails because their target market is to be able to do events and weddings during the summertime. There's going to be food inside as well, my coffee bar as well, and yeah.
That's cool. So not only is it a place for, you know, locals to come and find unique wares and stuff, but you're giving up-and-coming entrepreneurs a platform.
Yes. Yes.
That's very cool.
And we wanted to approach that at a very respectful way, I want to say, because I know that when you start out a business, things cost money. The saying goes, it takes money to make money. And in some ways it's very true, but we wanted to make that respectful because having a very low vendor fee to pay for just the small general costs is something that we wanted to make sure that was known, and that our heart was known, that we are about supporting people. And we're not about it being this money-making thing. We want it to be a platform and a market to support people and their ideas. Right. Now, the Okanagan in the whole vendor spectrum, in compared to the coast, is minimal. There's a lot of soap vendors. There's a lot of lotion vendors and natural essential oils and stuff like that. And so we wanted to allow as many people as possible to be there, but there's only so many that we can choose. And the other part is that this market will host, Homegrown will not host any MLM companies or pyramid companies, because we want to have a focus on people making their products by hand, whether on site or in their homes or in their office, to show off what their passions are.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you give us the time and day details?
Yeah, so February 2nd, which is a Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 1449 Green Bay Road, Green Bay Bible Camp in West Kelowna. And again, 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, so vendors will have options for Valentine's Day gifts, but it's not going to be a specific Valentine's Day market.
Right, that's very cool. Maybe getting a little bit ahead of you, but is there any other ones planned for the future after this one, or is this kind of like just our test before we launch?
Yeah, so there's one already planned for the end of April, beginning of March. We're trying to aim at doing one every month until we land a home. So those details for the second market will come out very shortly. But we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We want to execute this market and then announce the second one.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming in and letting us know. You guys can go to the Homegrown Market on February 2nd.
Thanks.
Thanks.